Sagittarius, December 2025 opens with an energy that feels almost electric, not chaotic, not overwhelming, but charged with possibility. There's a sense that something is about to open for you, as if the horizon you've been staring at all year suddenly stretches wider. You may feel it before anything external happens, a spark of anticipation, a surge of clarity, a quiet but thrilling pull towards something new. This is not imagination. December brings the beginning of expansion, real expansion, the kind that changes direction rather than mood. As the month starts, the atmosphere around you feels different from the past weeks. Lighter. More spacious. It's as though life is clearing a path ahead of you, removing subtle barriers you didn't realize were blocking your movement. You might notice your mind waking up again, curiosity returning, ideas forming, motivation rising in a way you haven't felt since early autumn. You are stepping into your element, and the universe feels unusually responsive to your energy. Emotionally, December brings a shift from heaviness into hope, not naive hope, but the grounded, knowing kind. You begin to see meaning in things that felt directionless before. A situation that confused you earlier in the year starts to make sense. You feel more connected to your purpose, more in tune with what you want, and more willing to let go of paths that no longer inspire you. This emotional clarity sets the tone for the month. You're not chasing anything. You're aligning. And as you align, life begins to move around you. One of the strongest themes this month is opportunity through movement, travel, relocation, meetings, exposure, or education. You may be planning a trip, preparing for an event, or receiving an invitation that opens a surprising door. For some Sagittarians, December brings a literal journey. For others, it brings a metaphorical one, a shift in perspective, a new environment, a chance to change your routine or expand your experience. Professionally, December arrives with momentum. Something you started earlier in the year begins to show results. Your name circulates more. Your work attracts attention. A mentor, colleague, or unexpected ally steps forward with an offer, guidance, or collaboration that feels perfectly timed. This is not the month where you push endlessly. This is the month where the path begins to respond to your presence. But with expansion comes responsibility. December highlights a challenge you'll need to handle wisely, choosing what to pursue and what to release. Not every opportunity is aligned. Not every invitation deserves your energy. You're entering a month where abundance appears, but discernment becomes your anchor. The universe is opening doors, yes, but you choose which one to walk through. In relationships, December softens something that has been tense or unclear. You may find yourself communicating more openly, expressing your feelings without pressure, or reconnecting with someone who understands your depth and your freedom at the same time. For single Sagittarians, a new connection may appear during travel, work, or an unexpected social moment, someone who feels refreshing, optimistic, and aligned with your sense of adventure. Yet beneath all these bright currents, a deeper storyline begins forming, something tied to purpose, direction, and the next stage of your path. You can feel it quietly, like a warm pulse beneath the surface of your days. Something is approaching, something that will ask you to step forward with courage and clarity. As December deepens, Sagittarius, you begin to feel a shift in your inner rhythm, a sense of movement that comes not from urgency, but from alignment. There's a growing clarity about what actually motivates you, what brings you joy, and what you're no longer willing to invest your time in. This is one of the most important themes of your month, reclaiming your direction. You may notice that your energy becomes more focused around mid-December. Ideas that once felt scattered begin to connect. Something you've been considering, a new project, a trip, a relocation, a bold change, suddenly feels not only possible, but natural. December brings a moment where your inner compass recalibrates, pointing sharply toward a path that energizes you rather than drains you. This internal shift influences every area of your life, but it shows up especially strongly in your work or ambitions. For many Sagittarians, this month brings A chance to present your work. An invitation to something bigger. Or an unexpected message that expands your professional world. People notice you this month, not because you're trying to stand out, but because your authenticity becomes unmistakably magnetic. You're clear. You're present. You're sincere. And that energy draws opportunities toward you in ways you may not fully realize until January. In your emotional life, December invites softness, a softer approach to yourself, your feelings, and your connections. You may forgive yourself for something you've been carrying too long. You may let go of guilt or pressure that never belonged to you. And as this internal softening happens, relationships around you respond with more warmth. If you're in a partnership, December opens space for a meaningful conversation, one that brings you and your partner onto the same page, especially regarding future plans. You may talk about travel, work, living arrangements, or a shared goal. The tone is not heavy, it's hopeful. If you're single, December brings encounters that feel refreshing rather than intense. Someone may enter your orbit with a sense of ease, someone who feels like expansion rather than limitation. You're not looking for drama. You're looking for compatibility, and December quietly guides you toward it. Financially, the month has an interesting story for Sagittarius. Instead of sudden gains or losses, December brings stability with growth potential. You may finalize a deal, receive money owed, or start planning for a larger move in early 2026. There is a sense of preparation, that your financial landscape is shifting, but in a way that supports your future expansion rather than restricting it. Energetically, December is generous to you. Your vitality returns, your curiosity reawakens, and your sense of possibility becomes stronger than your doubts. Even small daily experiences feel more meaningful. A conversation sparks a new idea. A moment alone brings unexpected clarity. A message or coincidence feels strangely timely. And then, quietly, a new theme begins to take shape beneath the surface: transition. Not the kind that disrupts your life, the kind that elevates it. The kind that arrives when you've outgrown a version of yourself and are ready for the next one. You can feel it coming, like a shift in the atmosphere before a long-awaited change. You might not know the details yet, but you know this. Something is preparing to open. Something that carries movement, direction, and opportunity. And it's getting closer with each passing day. As the middle of December passes, Sagittarius, the month begins to reveal its deeper essence. What started as gentle momentum now becomes purposeful movement. You feel it in your thoughts, in your decisions, in the way you wake up in the morning, a sense that you're crossing an invisible threshold into a more aligned version of your life. One of the most powerful themes emerging now is expansion through clarity. You begin to see which paths are meant for you and which ones you've outgrown. A project that once felt confusing suddenly makes sense. A long-term vision sharpens. You realize you're ready to step into something bigger, not recklessly, but with wisdom earned over the past year. This is also the point in the month where opportunities become more visible. Someone may approach you with an idea, an offer, or an invitation. A door you didn't expect may open. And what's remarkable is how natural it feels, not like luck, not like coincidence, but like timing aligning with your readiness. In your personal life, December deepens your relationships in subtle, meaningful ways. Communication becomes easier. Misunderstandings soften. You may find yourself sharing more openly, being more present, or reconnecting with someone you haven't felt close to in a while. There's warmth returning to your connections, a sense of understanding that doesn't need to be forced. For single Sagittarians, the energy now becomes more potent. Someone may catch your attention, someone who feels like movement, like possibility, like a reminder that love doesn't have to be heavy to be real. This connection may come through travel, through a shared interest, or through an unexpected encounter that feels strangely fated. Career-wise, this is where December becomes especially interesting. You may receive feedback, recognition, or attention that validates your recent work. A conversation with a colleague or superior may highlight your potential. Or you may realize that something you started earlier in the year is finally taking shape. There's movement, not loud, but promising. But with movement comes an important challenge: alignment versus distraction. December brings options, and not all of them are meant for you. Some opportunities may feel exciting but unstable. Others may feel safe but uninspiring. The key this month is to follow what feels expansive rather than what feels immediate. Your instincts are unusually sharp, trust them. Financially, mid to late December brings clarity. You see where your money is going, what needs restructuring, and what deserves investment. You may make a decision about travel, education, a new project, or a purchase that supports your growth. Finances are not chaotic this month, they're strategic. Energetically, this period becomes brighter, lighter, more optimistic. You begin to regain a sense of faith in your path. You're not rushing, you're choosing. And that difference changes everything. And then, almost imperceptibly at first, a shift begins to form. Something in your life, an idea, a plan, a relationship, a commitment, approaches a moment of clarity. You may not realize it immediately, but the final week of December holds a turning point for you. Something that has been unfolding quietly now prepares to reveal itself in full. You can sense it even now, a quiet acceleration, a deeper focus, a feeling that the dots are finally connecting. Something important is coming. As December reaches its final days, Sagittarius, the energy shifts from expansion to realization. The month that began with subtle momentum now culminates in a moment of striking clarity, the kind that doesn't just bring understanding, but direction. Between December 27th and 31st, something important aligns. It may be a message, a conversation, a decision you suddenly feel ready to make, or an opportunity that clicks perfectly into place. Whatever form it takes, it brings a sense of recognition, as if you're finally seeing the larger pattern behind everything that unfolded this year. The uncertainty, the pauses, the redirections. They weren't obstacles. They were set up. This insight doesn't overwhelm you. It energizes you. You understand what 2026 is asking of you. You know which path feels aligned, which opportunity holds potential, and where your spirit wants to go next. You're no longer navigating by guesswork, you're navigating by truth. In relationships, the end of December feels emotionally warm and grounded. You may experience a moment of connection that reassures you, strengthens a bond, or opens a new chapter. If there have been misunderstandings, clarity arrives. If you're building something new with someone, the energy becomes more defined. If you're single, an encounter or conversation at the end of the month may subtly shift your expectations for love as you step into the new year. Professionally, the closing days of December highlight possibility, not in the form of loud announcements, but through quiet validation, direction, or recognition. You may finalize something, sign something, or receive insight that helps you carve out a clearer professional identity for the year ahead. You sense your potential rising, not as hope, but as reality. Financially, this period brings steadiness, but also a sense of future planning. You may make a decision about travel, education, relocation, or a long-term investment, something that expands your world. There's confidence in your choices now, and a feeling that your financial direction aligns with your personal growth. Energetically, the final days of the month feel bright, alert, and strangely peaceful. You feel more like yourself, not the version weighed down by responsibilities or uncertainty, but the version that moves with purpose, faith, and curiosity. The version that remembers life is bigger than the moment you're standing in. December leaves you with one powerful message. Your world is expanding, and the path ahead is opening because you are finally ready for it. As you step across the threshold into a new year, you carry with you not just hope, but direction. Not just ideas, but clarity. Not just potential, but momentum. Thank you for spending this time with me, Sagittarius. If this forecast resonated with you, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for your monthly readings. Your next chapter is beginning, and it's so much bigger than you think.